Charlie has been an absolute fan favourite since day one, mainly because his character is highly relatable. Having a crush on someone you think you'll never get and then ending up dating them, that's the dream of every high schooler, and Charlie is basically living that dream. However, things might not always stay the same because there are very obvious chances of trouble in paradise in Season 2. Joe Locke, playing Charlie on the show, talked about it and said, Charlie develops an eating disorder and his mental health takes a turn for the worse. So it's evident that Charlie is going to have a very hard time keeping up in the second season. Even though Charlie and Nick got into this new and exciting relationship and everything looks so dreamy, things might still get a little out of hand for Charlie. We all know that Charlie has gone through a lot and he has internalized trauma. On top of that, he was publicly outed and humiliated by his fellows just for being gay. All this pain is somewhere inside of him, and he hasn't gotten any closure yet. This build-up of horrible experiences is definitely going to push Charlie over the edge. And even though he's in a happy relationship now, his trauma is going to show up every once in a while. Plus, getting over this trauma isn't really easy when Harry Green and other big guys are constantly passing remarks and saying mean things about him throughout Season 2. This sounds like a darker storyline for a teen coming-of-age show. However, it's really important to preach and normalize queer struggles and break the barriers. Alice Oseman, the writer of Heartstopper, has also said in an interview, the challenge of writing Heartstopper is exploring those darker issues while keeping the tone so optimistic and hopeful. Alice is going to portray Charlie's struggles with mental health in such a way that it feels real, but not highly triggering or disturbing for people. It's fair to assume that Charlie's mental health is going to be a central plot in the second season. Season 2 of Heartstopper is going to start with Nick and Charlie having a perfect relationship, but things will start going south when they constantly have to hide the fact that they're dating from everyone. They have to be sneaky, even in front of their friends, and this will obviously cause a lot of stress, and all this will reflect really badly on their relationship. We've all seen the pictures of the cast on the Paris trip, and it means there's going to be a fully fledged trip to Paris in the second season. It will provide a getaway to Charlie and Nick to sort out stuff and have some time together. However, Nick will soon realize that there's a lot wrong with Charlie and he's hiding something. So they will start having arguments and misunderstandings as Nick won't initially understand the struggles Charlie has to go through emotionally. Charlie has this habit of hiding his feelings just to make others happy, and he's going to do the same with Nick, but that's only going to worsen his mental health. It's pretty clear that Nick has to try and stick by Charlie's side because the second season isn't going to be easy on him. If you haven't noticed yet, there were hints in the first season about Charlie having an eating disorder. Nick also noticed it as Charlie always had smaller portions of meals whenever he was in public. He even used to stare at his food for a long time without eating. So the sharp-eyed fans already knew that Charlie has a very dysfunctional relationship with food. He often refuses to eat as he's not hungry, and even when Nick invited him for lunch, he got very nervous. These subtle hints are basically the groundwork, and now we're gonna dive deeper into Charlie's eating disorder in the second season. Nick will understand how Charlie avoids eating in public, and then he'll try to make Charlie comfortable by taking him to a private place for having lunch. However, his lack of appetite is only going to get worse with time. Basically, Charlie's anorexia stems from the fact that Charlie was unable to control anything in the outside world. So he started controlling his eating habits, and it gave him a sense of comfort. But now his loss of appetite has gotten out of control. This will result in him losing a lot of weight in Season 2, and he might even faint a couple of times, which will make matters worse. Charlie will realize that he has no choice but to talk about it to Nick and his parents. However, Charlie knows that his mother isn't going to give him much attention to mental health and will just assume that these eating disorders are nothing but a sham. So it will be hard for Charlie to talk about it. In addition, we will see Charlie going for therapy in Season 2 and getting diagnosed with depression and obsessive-compulsive disorder. It can get harder for Charlie and Nick to continue dating when Charlie's mental health is wrecked. So they might even decide to take a break and become friends. Charlie is not going to take his trauma seriously until he starts getting professional help in Season 2, and his denial is going to affect his physical relationship with Nick too. Because of losing weight, Charlie is going to be very skinny, and he will obsess over his weight and try to cover it up with oversized clothes. He will start feeling ashamed because of his weight, and at one point it's possible that he even feels disgusted with his body. It means he's going to have a hard time taking his clothes off in front of Nick too. Charlie will avoid having date nights just for this reason, and Nick will feel like he's left alone. Nick's homophobic brother will also also add a lot to Charlie's mystery, as he'll be pressurizing Charlie to break up with Nick. Though Nick is going to be by Charlie's side, talking to Nick's brother is definitely going to remind Charlie of his traumatic experience of being outed in school. There are high chances that Charlie calls things off with Nick and leaves him for Nick's own good. Charlie knows that his mental health is only going to get worse, and keeping Nick tangled in this will be of no use. He's most likely to sacrifice his love for Nick and ask him to move on. Besides, Nick is still yet to come out completely to his robust friends who think that he's only fit for girls, and dating a guy will make him less of a man. So they might start calling Charlie names again after hearing that Nick is dating him. Charlie will go through the same experience all over again, and he's most likely to react in the worst way possible as a result of holding back for so long. He's even likely to have a mental breakdown because of everything going on in his life. Charlie already is very sensitive, and on top of it, with depression and anorexia, his condition isn't going to be good in season 2. By the looks of it, Charlie is not going to be very jolly in the second season. However, that doesn't mean there's only going to be talks about trauma and depression. In fact, the writer has perfectly balanced a darker theme with the dreamy love story. We'll get to see how a young teen couple falls in love so passionately and express their intimacy. There also are going to be a lot of steamy scenes between Nick and Joe where they become intimate and Charlie forgets about the chaos in his mind for a short while. Besides, we're going to see how Nick and Charlie grow with their relationship and get through arguments together. Even if they call things off or have a proper breakup, they're going to find their way back to each other, and that's going to be the highlight of season 2. Plus, there will be moments that turn out to be relationship goals by true means. Not only this, but Nick will also help Charlie get over the insecurity that he's unlovable, and Charlie will be vulnerable in front of Nick for the very first time. It's actually exciting to see a queer coming-of-age story that actually understands the psyche of young teens and portrays it in such an authentic way. The good thing is that Charlie and Nick are gonna get more time together in season 2. The Paris trip means that they'll be out for a while, away from the hustle of school. It will give them some time to understand each other, and Nick will most likely figure out Charlie's condition during the trip. For Charlie, this will be a chance to get out of his shell and explore the possibilities of his relationship with Nick. However, he'll also be struggling a lot during this time, but the Paris trip is going to be the happiest time of their relationship in season 2, and that's for sure. Charlie will definitely be going through a lot and he'll need his friends around him. However, there will be a time when he will think that not sharing anything with them is a better option. It'll be very interesting to see how Nick teams up with Charlie's friends to support him. Also, Charlie never really had an ideal relationship with his parents, so that might change everything in the second season when his mother realizes everything Charlie has been through. So his personal life is going to take a turn for either the best or the worst. Apart from all this, there will be a constant battle in Charlie's mind throughout Heartstopper 2, and we just hope that he gets the professional help that he needs on time. Because if not, there's very little hope for Nick and Charlie to be together. So, do you think Charlie is going to come out great from the second season, or his mental health is going to take a toll on him? Tell us in the comment section below. Take care, and thanks for watching.